Ladies and gentlemen, the following is another outstanding episode of the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society. In one corner, we have the monarch of Mardi Gras, the Baroness of Bourbon Street. When she's not co-hosting Ringside Society, she goes on crazy misadventures, such as dressing up as one of the Road Warriors and picking fights with random people, or dressing up as the big boss man and trying to arrest people for petty crime. Louisiana's own Kathy Knight. In the second corner, we have the greatest thing on God's green earth. No, we're not talking about money, Mary Jane, or Popeye Spinach. He is the tranquil dart of Ringside Society, Delaware's greatest American hero. And whenever he goes to Taco Bell, he asks for a chief burrito because he loves the combination of chicken and beef. It takes two to make a thing go right. He's Rob Bass, and you are not. And the third corner, we have that ocean crossing, straight up bossing, flight catching, shot glass snatching. Where's he going next? Nobody knows. Three continents down, three more to go. The worldwide star boy, Remy Blue. Had too much caffeine on that last one. But it's not about us. No, you see, we have an extraordinary man here today. That's right. He is probably the biggest star, literally and figuratively, however you want to take it. He is the biggest star to graduate from DFW. Sorry, Britt Baker, I had to steal your shtick there for a bit. Standing at 7 feet tall, and he's managed by one of the best managers you can be managed by in Texas. Everybody, welcome to the show, Beau Amir.
Woo!
Thank y'all for having me.
Beau, thank you very much for taking time out of your schedule to be on our show and to shoot the breeze about pro wrestling. We really and truly appreciate it. And we've heard a lot about you. We had one of our fans, Sir Fester. He was like, "Have you ever heard of Beau Amir?" I was like, "Yeah, I've seen him around." And he was like, "Dude." And then I was like, something? When he said "dude," I was like, "Okay, let me go ahead and find this man, contact him, see if he can make time for us, have him on the show." Because when the fans start talking, we start listening, and then we're like, "Okay, we got to find out what it is and what's up." So, that's what led us all to this. But how's everything on your end?
It was well, man. Like I said, I've been training for 2 years. I just graduated, so this is year two. I'm entering right now. Things are looking up. Like I said, I just got over to Booker's relief recently, connected with Rudy Garza. Like you just said, I'm with the best managers, NASCO. Shout out to NASCO. Graduated from DFW All-Pro, so shout out to Lugatti Lugatti, Lamont Williams. That's the man that trained me, and here we are.
That's great, man. You had a lot of great training. Texas, man, I got a very great, um, very good wrestling scene down there. You always had it, and I remember the days of I don't know how long you've been in Texas, but I remember the days of, and Kathy, if you know this, then you are definitely a fan of the Texas wrestling scene. Rob, if you know this, I'll be very amazed because you're all the way up in Delaware. But the days of Global Wrestling Federation, where Booker T actually started, Booker T and Stevie Ray, and we had people like Chris, not Chris Chavez, Chaz Taylor, sorry, Chaz Taylor, Stephen Dane, Hollywood John Tatum, so many people, even uh, JBL started out there as well. You guys have always had a great wrestling scene, and it still holds up to this day with promotions like Reality of Wrestling and New Texas Pro and so on, Lucha Brutal and all of them. So man, I definitely sometimes I wish I lived in Texas, even though I do live in an area that has a lot of great wrestling too. New York. I'm like, man, y'all just got it. Y'all just got it going on down there as well too.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Texas scene has been booming. Like you said, got Roxanne Perez. She's killing it. NXT Women's Champion. So I think, like you said, we're kind of booming and we're kind of growing. So to see that she's doing so well, she's like the leader of the pack, and you can see like who else is doing well down here in Texas as well. So yes, a lot of things is popping down here in the Texas scene. Absolutely.
I know that a lot of people speak about Roxanne Perez, but we would be remiss if we actually forgot to mention another man who is actually making a name for himself. Although he's in a kind of a funny situation, a comedic situation, and that's a man by the name of Marseille from Maxwell. Ma- Kathy, you know it better than me. Was it MMM, some M3? I
Yeah.
forgot what it is.
Maxim Mel Models. He's in
Yeah,
there
yeah,
too.
Maxwell Mill. He was actually down there in reality wrestling too. Very impressive, and I was happy to hear that he got signed too, because the man can definitely go in the ring, and I hope that they actually give him the chance to branch out on his own and show the wrestling
Oh,
world what he could do
the
outside
guy
of.
with the dreads. You talking about the guy with the dreads, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah, he
seen.
was down there one.
Yeah, I think I seen him play football. I believe. Yeah, so I think he had like a short stint with Rowe. Yeah, you're right. You're correct.
Yeah, he's very impressive, and I hope that they give him a chance to you know branch out even more. I mean, granted, he's still getting exposure where he's at, but I hope that he gets more, you know, possibly a serious role where he can actually show that, hey, I'm more than just a look. I can actually go in the ring.
Absolutely.
So let's. I normally ask 99% of our guests this, because everybody has a different story of how they started. But how did you become a fan of professional wrestling? What was the match or the event that got you hooked?
Right. So I've always been a fan of the product, of the business. I'll say what started me out. I was a WCW kid for sure. So the first thing that I ever saw was Booker T and Stevie Ray, like you mentioned before. So I was a big fan of Harlem Heat. I caught on the WWE a little bit later, but I was mainly like the NWO. So everything NWO, Hollywood Hogan, the Giant, Goldberg, Lex Luger, those guys. Big WCW kid, and I caught on the WWE a little bit later, probably when Rock started to take off, and I had to catch up with the history of WWE. But I always been a fan of the product.
That's awesome that you started off with WCW. That was a great. They had a great couple of years, and um, I enjoyed it all. I enjoyed WCW and WWE. So that's actually cool that you actually started off, because normally when the average person we have on the show, or the average wrestling fan, they start off with WWE, which is it's totally understandable. I mean, WWE is like the biggest wrestling promotion in pro wrestling. I mean, I started off with watching SummerSlam '89, Hulk Hogan and Brutus Beefcake versus Macho King, as he was known at the time, and Macho King Randy Savage and Zeus. And I was hooked since then. I was like, yo, I was like, I was like a crackhead at no, don't let me say that. Don't let me say that, because but I was pretty much like a kid that had his first taste of. And to those of y'all, and I apologize for that, because I know that it's. I apologize for that last one. For those of y'all listening, I didn't mean that. I take that back. I was like, what's a good analogy? A kid that had his first taste of ice cream or sugar. I
Okay.
was hooked. I wanted more, and I couldn't stop talking about it. So yeah, yeah, WWE is definitely yeah, is what got me started. So question, who are like some of your favorites that you enjoyed like watching that? Because we all have that wrestler, like, man, when I grow up I want to be just like them. I wouldn't mind being their tag team partner. Who are those wrestlers that got you like, yo, my guy or my girl is coming out. Hush, I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to know nothing. I'm just watching them right now.
What's funny is because like the way that I looked at the product and now being in the business is a little bit different. So at first I was looking mainly like the smaller guys. When I mean smaller guys, I mean like the heavyweights, like the Kurt Angles, the Triple H's, like I said, the Booker T's. I wouldn't really focus on like the big guys like Taker, Giant, um, uh, Vader, those type of guys. I was mainly like looking at the smaller guys. So when I got into it, my style didn't really match with what I was looking at before. It's like, hey, you can't work like that. Like you have to be like more of the bigger style. So now it's a little bit different. So when I study people's styles, I grab things from different people it's a little bit different now. But back then, it was definitely like the Kurt Angles, the Triple H's, the smaller guys. But now I look and study more of the bigger guys and their styles and implement it to my game.
Wow, that's cool. That's pretty awesome. So, did you ever get to go to any of the WCW shows or any of the indie shows around your area growing up?
No, unfortunately, no. My family really didn't like take me to the shows, but what my parents did, or my dad did, he had guys that worked at his old company, and they would tape it for me. So I remember back then. Remember on the TV, like we didn't order the pay-per-views, but like you hear like the static channel, and I'll listen and I'll hear what's going on, because like my parents would never order it, but then like I could hear what's going on, so I know what's going to happen when I go to school that Monday morning. They could talk about it, or I'm ready for like that Monday. Or like I said, like a lot of people like record the tapes and then I'll review it that way. But it'll be like months later. I'll get SummerSlam months later. It already happened, but that's the only time I get to see it. So now, like with the network or something like that, I could go back and watch those tapes or wherever it happened, those pay-per-views back in the day.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I tell you, the network is definitely a blessing, man. Because I can imagine like the kids. Because I grew up. I'm not gonna put Kathy and Rob's businesses out on the street because then I'll have to pay for it after the show. They'll probably cuss me out or something. But I could say I grew up in the era where I had wrestling on the weekends alone. That was it. I started watching. I'm 39. I'm going to be 40 in May. So yeah, I was way back. Like started watching in 1990, and I remember like we had wrestling on the weekends, and that was it. This was like before Raw, before SmackDown,
Mm-hmm.
and that was it. If you wanted to see the pay per view, you either had those cool enough parents that bought it for you, or you probably heard about it from your friends at school the next day, or you hope that the next episode of wrestling of Superstars or main event actually showed stills from that event. So I could imagine how all those old school fans, the moment that network came out, they were rushing to see every single pay-per-view that they missed from way back when.
Right. Now, I'll say this. Now, my parents, they did order WrestleMania, but outside of that, it's the only thing that they really ordered because they know like that was the biggest show of the year. So that's the only thing I really got to see.
Oh
Pay-per-view.
yeah. Yeah, now these days, like you just have to like I don't know if they have it in Texas, but I know here in New York, you could just go to a bar and just watch the pay-per-view. All you gotta do is order like a drink and a
Mm-hmm.
burger, and you're
So
or you and that's it. You could sit down and watch the pay-per-view.
yeah, they do for like the bigger shows like Royal Rumble and the SummerSlam, stuff like that. Absolutely.
Yeah. So now that you're a fan and you're cheering on your favorites and supporting them, how did your journey go from Beau Amir, the wrestling fan, to Beau Amir, pro wrestler, graduate of DFW All-Pro?
Like I said, it took a while. So traditionally, I play like traditional sports. Of course, like looking at pro wrestling is not a traditional activity. Most people they do football, track, baseball, soccer, something like that. So my thing was basketball. So I played basketball growing up, and I actually played collegiately as well. I played at Prairie View A&M University. So I was doing that. Got hurt. Kind of like got away from basketball. I just wanted to close out, finish up my undergrad, finish that up, and then I just started working. Just had a job and started working. But I still see it on TV. And I was like, man, like what if? Or like, I think I still can do that. I can do that. But the thing is, what took me so long was I didn't know I had access to it. I think a lot of guys I talked to, we didn't know that it's that close to you. Like in Texas, like I didn't know that DFW All-Pro existed. I didn't know, like I know Booker T's. I knew reality wrestling because Booker T's two-time Hall of Famer, but I didn't know it was in my own backyard. So it took a while. So pretty much my entry to the business was I had a friend. His name was Brandon Taylor. He knew I was like trying to get in. Like he knew I like wrestling, and then he connected me with a guy who later to be Levi Lucas. I always give Levi his flowers. He always said if I ever get signed, he wants a percentage. So shout out to Levi Lucas. So he connected me to DFW All-Pro. He's like, hey man, we have a show. You know, I'm training right now. Come check us out. So I went down there. I checked this out. I checked out DFW, and that's why I met Lamont Williams. You know, on show days, any type of promoters, when they're on their show days, they're very focused. So I saw him. He's like, all right, man, come in on Saturday and we do a tryout. So I did my tryout. Horrible tryout. Not like conditioning wise, but like the roles. Like I'm so used to being upward in basketball. You always standing tall, but right there, it's in wrestling. You gotta learn how to fall. You gotta learn how to just be more horizontal than vertical. So like the roles are pretty horrible. I had to get used to that, but it was nothing like to sway me saying I couldn't do it. You know, so I finally did it and went through the process. It's a respectable process, and I'm thankful for going through that process. Because I thought about going, like I said, to Houston to go the Booker T route, but I appreciate the route that I went to. I feel like it was very much necessary because usually there's guys like my size. They see me or see guys like my size. You got 2 weeks and they throw you out there, and then you probably fizzle out because you really I did it the hard way. Like I had to wait actually the whole year, 2 years before I could get out there and start taking bookings. So I appreciate that the structure of what DFW All-Pro presented me not only got me ready physically, but as well mentally for the game. And then now it's like we're just trying to build off of that constantly. I'm in a good place, a good space. Like I said, we just now made to Rally Wrestling, and we're just building off of that, just trying to keep growing.
That's awesome that DFW took the time to actually, train you to make sure that you're ready for the ring. And I once read there was a wrestler by the name of, and Rob, I know you know this guy. You should know him. Q-Ball Carmichael. He actually said that the least time a person should take for wrestling to train to be a wrestler, that is, should be at least 2 years. No less than 2 years. So I was like, yeah, that pretty much makes sense. I mean, it's long, it's kind of long, but I could see where he's coming from because you want to make sure that you're ready, and it's a dangerous sport, believe it or not. For those of y'all listening, people think it's easy, but it's not. I I'm not a wrestler. I've been a fan for 30 plus years, but I know that it's not easy and not everybody could do it. That's why when you guys do your thing, I just sit down and watch. I don't say nothing about, oh, they did this move wrong, they did that move wrong. The most I'd probably say is I would judge is the writing, because I swear up and down I can give some of these writers a run for their money. I'll die. That's a hill I will always die on. Like I can write some storylines, but other than that, nah. Like I would never comment on anything else. The gear, the moves, nah. I'm good. I'm gonna just know my role, and to quote The Rock, know my role and shut my mouth. That's just me over here. But I commend y'all for doing what y'all do. So you're 7 foot, man. Like I said, probably the biggest guy ever to step into a reality wrestling ring. So are there any we've had several 7 foot wrestlers in pro wrestling in the past. Is there any particular one or two that actually inspire you as being a 7 foot guy yourself?
Yeah, man. Like I said, growing up, like I said, I was looking to more of the smaller guys, but then I realized, oh damn, like I am 7 foot. So like I said, I couldn't or probably bump at all. So I had to like restructure my mental and of who am I looking at? Who do I want to model my game after? And of course, is the first one to go to is probably like the GOAT big man of all time, which is Taker. So I always look at his, and then I look at Kane. I was always a big Kevin Nash fan with the NWL days, especially like with Reality Wrestling, with me and Rudy Garza. It's more Shawn Michaels and Diesel. That's what they want us to do there. So I'm studying him now of what he did as he prepared for his Diesel run. But main thing is like Taker. Like Taker, it's power mixed with the finesse. Especially with my character is very European, and it's like a finesse style. But I always have a real power moveset as well. So those are the guys I'm studying right now.
I had a feeling that's what y'all were doing with when because I saw that little reel that you and Rudy Garza had with you and the two girls in the ring. I was like, look at these guys like Shawn Michaels and Diesel, man. They got the girls out there, they got the belts and all that too. I'm like, shoots.
Yeah. Shout out to the TV champion, Rudy Garza.
Yeah, we actually had him on here earlier. Really, really cool guy. Definitely gonna go places. So, I just got a couple more questions, before I turn it over to Kathy. I know Kathy's she's chomping at a bit, when she hears people from Texas or I just got to mention a wrestler from Texas and Louisiana, and she's like, okay, I'm there. I'm like, Kathy, you can sit this one on if you. No, I am gonna be on the show. I'm like, okay.
Probably because I've seen them all. I've seen Beau in person too.
Yeah, she knows. Yeah, you probably seen her. You probably seen her at reality wrestling, but just yeah, probably seen her like. I think you're always like what, front row, right? Front row, or you're always front row, because I always see her on ROW, and I'm like, oh look, there's Kathy. She's there.
Try to be front row, usually second row, but at New Texas Pro, I'm usually front row.
Yeah, I think it's like first come, first serve, I believe, something like that. I'm not sure.
I have no clue. So my second to last question is, let's say if there's there's a guy that's it's around your height, 7 foot, or a little shorter or a little taller, that wants to get into pro wrestling as well. What advice would you give that person that can't obviously can't work like the smaller guys, but you know I mean they could, because you got guys like Dijak that did it. And I always call them next level big men, Dijak and Keith Lee and them that did it. But what advice would you give that person that wants to get in there and do what you're doing?
For a big man or just anyone in general?
For a big man.
What type of things I struggle with? I think a lot for the big man is you try to separate yourself. I mean, you're already going to be taller, but I mean, like, separate yourself from the big man. I think for me, what separates me is I'm really big in my body. Like, I take care of my body. I don't want to be a t-shirt warrior. No offense to those that are out there. I don't want to be a t-shirt warrior, but I want to be like, I want to look like a wrestler. Like, I want to look like the part. That's why I transitioned over from tights to trunks. And that's because of Jazz, legend, she's gonna be a Hall of Famer. She'll be a Hall of Famer. Jazz pulled me aside, like, hey man, you can start wearing trunks. So what I'm gonna tell her, like, no to the, you know what I mean? Like, what I'm telling her no. So
I wouldn't tell her no. Shoes. I see how mean now. I don't think she ever smiled. Has she ever smiled before?
No, not at all.
I don't think I never seen her and Rodney Mack. Those are two. That's one couple I would not want to see in bright daylight. Let alone in a dark alleyway. I'm good. Like, yeah. But go ahead.
So and then it's like I try, like, hey, look the part, take care of your body. I got like a comment of the day, like a giant with abs. Like I wanted to go in, like I want to look like a part. I see these guys all the time, like the Randy Ortons, the Triple H's. They got the trunks, they got the body right. Like I'm trying to be a champion. Like speaking to Rudy, like the separation is. It's so easy because I always get compared to like the Omases. I mean, like he's killing it right now. He's about to get him a WrestleMania match with Brock. But I want to be more than just like this tall, quiet giant. Like I want to be a champion. You know what I mean? So I put in the extra effort of like, hey, I could be champion. Like the Kevin Nash's. Like I think that's something he had to go through. Like, no, I'm not just the quiet guy with Sean. Like I could be a champion too, and be a leader. So. Especially from a big guy point of view, like just be mindful of that. I think another takeaway is like from my conversation with Khan, be more vocal. It's okay to ask for a promo. It's okay to ask for a mic. Just try to separate yourself from, just like I say, it's so easy to get you put in that situation. Like you're just a big man, you're quiet, and that's it. But so stuff like that, and that's something that I'm still building off of too as of today. With my own career.
Awesome. So for those of you that are, for those, and I'm not trying to body shame anybody, that's not what we do here at Ringside Society. But for those of you that are, that are around 7 foot, for those of you really tall guys, big guys that are actually looking to get looking to get into pro wrestling, you got a little advice from one of the future stars, and he's gonna make it real soon. Let's believe it. Y'all heard me say it here. He's gonna make it soon. Y'all just got a little advice from him right now. So there you go. So my last question before I turn it over to Kathy, uh, in regards to your workouts and facing your opponents, what are some songs or what are some kinds of music that get you in that zone to knock out that workout or face that opponent?
Music, man, like I'm all over the place. Some days I feel R&B, some days I feel hip hop, some days I feel country, some days I feel like alternative rock. Some days I feel like that's like the other day I was listening to like Bad Bunny. Like it's just a vibe I have to catch. I'm all over the place with it. Like right now, if you gotta say who's like my most listening right now, probably like Kendrick Lamar. I'm Kendrick Lamar.
That's that's a great one to listen to. Kendrick Lamar, he's pretty cool. Yeah, when it comes to music, I'm like all over the place. So for some reason I find myself working out to a lot of The Weeknd. I don't know why. Like Starboy and Blinded by the Light. For some reason, when Blinded by the Light comes on, that's why when I get like most active. And
Martinez, he's a big Weekend fan.
oh, okay, he has great taste. Yeah, that's I'm wait, have I ever worked out to wait, wasn't he the one? Didn't he have a song with The Weeknd called "Pray for Me"?
You talking about Kendrick?
Yeah, I think that was him.
Yeah, they have songs together.
Yeah. It was from the Black Panther, the first Black Panther movie.
And
I
then he has
remember that.
his album, I believe, the Weekend. Kendrick's on the Weekend's album. Yep.
Yeah. So with that being said, I'm gonna definitely go ahead and I'll turn it over to Kathy. I know Kathy got it. Like I said, she has a lot of questions for you. She's seen you in action. So Kathy, go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, thanks for me. How's it going today, Beau?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Pretty good. So, I've seen you in person, like we said before, and in pictures and walking to the ramp, you wear an eye patch. So, what's the eye patch about?
Yes. So when I was getting into wrestling and I was figuring out the character, so basically when I was pitching the character, because we all have to go through this process of pitching the characters to our trainer. The movie Candyman had just came out. And I was like going through that, like, okay, I see Taker, I see Kane. They're like these mythical, scary, big figures. And I was like, okay, what is a version that I can do for myself? And I landed on Candyman. That's why I was wearing plaid back then. I was wearing plaid tights because like Tony Todd had plaid pants, and that's where I took that from. I thought, like, okay, that's kind of cool. So the eye patch came in with, I guess, like it's like a backstory. Something happened to my eye, and it's like it's like something that's like a lasting impression of me of like revenge. So when I come after other wrestlers or other talent, it's like it's revenge. Like something happened to me, it's like a moment to me. But now, like moving forward, as I got away from the more scary stuff, and it's more like just suave European stuff. It's just something that promoters like. So it's just like I just kept it. And they're like, okay, just keep the iPad. Even to the point like, hey, can you work in it? Can you wrestle in it? And I'm like, I can't wrestle in it. But this is something that it's part of the genesis of Beau Amir. So, like I said, promoters just asked for it, and I just kept it.
Yeah, because I would see you. You'd walk to the ring with it, and then you take it off and you like put it in your trunk. So
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is he trying to be a pirate? Like, what's going on here?
All the time.
But yeah, how hard is it? Like you have one eye. Like, how hard is it to see? Like when you were going down the ramp, like you ever almost tripped or anything like that?
So at first it was on the left eye, but then I had to actually put on the right eye because this is actually my bad eye because I actually wear glasses. So I had to switch it to the right eye, and it's like, I had to get used to it. Sometimes I go out beforehand and just like get a feel of the stage, the ramp, and understand where I'm going. But after that, it's pretty cool. I'm good.
So you actually had a bad eye. Like it kind of fits.
Yeah,
There
absolutely.
you go.
Yeah, I'm nearsighted, so I can't see far.
Yeah, I'm the same way too.
Yep.
So, yep, I wear glasses to drive. Have to, or
Yes.
I won't be able to see.
Yep.
So Nastico is your manager.
Yes.
Why did you pick Nastico of everybody in the world to pick for managers? Why him?
Um, Actually, he seeked me out. Um, so he scooped me up. I like Nasico. I think we were like a yin and a yang. Like I said, as of right now, I don't really speak as much, and especially as someone as a heel, I think it works well. Like I said, he takes care of me. I think he's like actually. Here's the thing about NASCO. People don't understand about NASCO. He's really the best manager. Like outside of like like he's really the best manager. Like if I need him to do my dry cleaning, I'm pretty sure he would if he needed to, if he wanted to. Like that's how committed he is, and especially how he is. Like I said, like when we try to hit the road, I have no concerns about him. He's always ready to go. The best manager in NASCO.
Yeah, he'll probably watch this, but yeah, he is the best manager. I'll give him his flowers. He still stinks though, as he likes to tell all of us that we stink. But yeah, Nastico's pretty awesome. I'll give him his flowers there, but that's where it stops, Nastico. You still stink. So another, you talked about Rudy earlier. You're affiliated with him now in Royalties International, but did you forget that he tried to kick you out at Christmas Chaos? You know he tried to throw you out, right? You didn't forget that?
I let it slide.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like brothers and family fight all the time. You know, it happens. Just keep it pushing, moving forward. Royalties International.
Yeah, because I was there at Christmas Chaos, and I'm like, he's trying to kick you out, and then all of a sudden you're with him, and I'm like, what drew you to Rudy? But like you said, it's probably the Sean Diesel kind of thing, which I can see.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Rudy is a great worker, great wrestler, very good on the mic. Um, like I said, has a good look, good set of hair. I think, like I said, y'all talk about my gear, my boots, and my gear. No, Rudy Garza has the best gear that I've seen by far. His gear is amazing.
That's true. He drips in gold.
Yes,
His jacket is like awesome. He has one of the best jackets in the game, and then his tights
yes,
are dripped in gold, black and gold,
black and gold.
just like the Saints right there.
Hopefully
Okay, so
they do well.
yeah. So you talked a little bit about we all mentioned that you're 7 feet tall and everything, but you're not like you're kind of like a taker in a way. You're not like the Big Show or anything like that. You're powerful, and you're pretty agile too. Like I watched a video. I was doing research like on some of your matches. You leapfrogged over Mysterious Q, who is not a short guy, and you drop kicked him too.
Yes,
So
yes.
like you have power and agility, like that sets yourself you are set apart from other big guys. So I have to give you your props there.
Thank you. So like just touching piggyback on that, it's like I said, once I was coming through the ranks and training, like I said, I was always athletic, and that's like from playing basketball. So like I said, talk to my trainer Lugatti. He's like, over time, you can graduate and show a little bit more. It's just usually what most people want to see is like that more big man style, especially for me as of right now. Um, so over time, like it depends on the matchup. Like as you see, like I'm going against like bigger talent like the Edge Stones and the Mysterious Qs now, and as well as Sam Stackhouse. So I'm able to actually throw in a little bit more finesse, athletic moves instead of just power, because the small guys, they gonna all get slammed. They all gonna just get demolished.
Yeah, you have like most big guys do. You have the choke slam, but yours is like really brutal and really hard. Like you lift them way up in the air and then just slam them down. Like I've seen choke slams, with Big Show and Kevin Nash and Kane and Undertaker, but like yours, you put some oomph on it.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'll get you up there. Absolutely. There's times some guys just don't want to go, and it's like, oh, you're going to go. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel bad for them, and it's not just guys. You recently were in a Sadie Hawkins match.
Yes.
With Emerus Blair and Kiefer Bartek, and you put Amorous, way above your like. Amorous is still alive, thank God, but you choke slammed her to pretty much hell there. And for a big guy, we've had Kiefer on the show before, and for a big guy, tall guy as Kiefer, you did like a butterfly suplex to him like it was nothing. So that's where I say you got the power, you got the agility, like you're pretty awesome for a big man.
Thank you. Like I said, I tried to, have a little blend of both. And that's this guys from the guys I'm studying. Absolutely, just have a good blend.
Awesome. I don't know if you can give this away, but like, are we gonna see you jumping over the top rope like Undertaker does, or anything? Because you said you gradually. Are we gonna see that? Because that would be pretty cool.
Actually, I already did. It was me against T-Ray, and it's actually the beginning of the match.
Oh
So
my god, you wrestled T-Ray. That's another big guy, T-Ray. Like, he's not fun to throw around, I'm sure.
yeah, I leaped over the front rope. I mean, the top rope on T-Ray at the beginning of the match.
Wow. So we are gonna see more stuff like that. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's exciting. Like, I can't wait to see more stuff. So most guys, that are 7 feet tall, they have a lot of wins, but you also have a few losses. And there was another match I was watching. There's a guy called Short Sleeve Samson.
Yes.
He did the worm on you and did a splash, and he got the 1, 2, 3. So what was going on that day? Like, sometimes you don't always get the wins. You do lose sometimes. So what happened there?
I think that's just like me starting out early out. Just getting my reps in. Sometimes you're in certain situations, you try to do the best you can with what's given to you, and I mean, I think that's the best for that situation.
Yeah, you had to get your feet wet. I guess every wrestler has to.
Absolutely.
And then I saw another match. You wrestled Ryan Davidson. Ryan Davidson really took it to you there. I think he ended up winning by DQ, but yeah, he was taking it to you. So how is it wrestling Ryan? Because he's the grizzled vet, the final boss.
Exactly what you just said. Grizzled vet. He's a hard hitting, tough son of a gun, and then he's a veteran. Like I said, I love Ryan. Every time I see him, Ryan's actually my connection to reality wrestling. I think that match pretty much like put me in a situation to like, okay, let's bring him in. Working Ryan, and then also he showed me a way of like how veterans work. It's like you gotta keep up. So that I enjoy that experience. It made me a lot better as a talent, as a worker. I appreciate Ryan. Like I said, everything is all love. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, he's great. We love Ryan. There's that's the thing too about Texas. There's so many. You learn so much. You don't even have to leave Texas to like get all these great matches. Like Edge Stone is the current reality of wrestling champion. You've already wrestled him.
Yes.
So you could actually like get the title from him one of these days because you've already seen him, you've wrestled him, you kind of know what to expect.
Absolutely. Hey, Edge, we can run it back. I think that's the plan. Rudy has the TV title. I go get the reality wrestling title.
There you go. Does a little bit of you want to get that TV title though? Maybe I'm kind of stirring the pot here, but
nah. Rudy's my brother.
Yeah, I had to laugh when he jumped into your arms when he got the TV title. He just kind of flailed and like, did you try not to laugh? Because it looked like I would have laughed if that was me.
Nah, I think that with that, it's just like we talked about it, and it's like, okay, I just want to make sure like the time is right. I didn't want to like drop or anything like that. That's the main thing. And then also I gotta make sure, I don't break. So no, it was great.
Yeah, you tend to keep a straight face, like nothing bothers you. But yeah, I would have been like laughing inside if that was me.
A lot of people get a lot of feedback on it. They're laughing. They enjoyed it. So
Yeah, because he didn't just jump into your arms. He like jumped into it and just kind of like laid back.
dramatic, yeah.
Yeah, but that's Rudy. Shout out to Rudy. We love Rudy. So I just mentioned like you could stay in Texas and wrestle, but you've been to Louisiana too in Morgan City for Gulf State Wrestling last month.
Yep.
Did you do any? Did you have time to like try out the food or sightsee? Because I'm from Louisiana, so gotta ask about that.
Actually, we did stay there the night. We got a hotel that night. So shout out to Big Mike. I I didn't get to try the food, but I've been to Louisiana multiple times through basketball, just traveling in. But I enjoy the food. I'm a big seafood fan. I think that's my favorite food. Favorite type of food. I'm a big seafood connoisseur. So like the po' boys and the shrimps and crawfishes and anything from the water, I'm all for it.
Yeah, we definitely have plenty of that here. That's for sure. So, what's like a day in the life of Beau Amir? Like, what's a life, for 7 foot tall guy?
Uh, I wake up, brush my teeth, wash my face. I walk out. If I go to like any type of gas station or Walmart, automatically they think I'm LeBron. It's like, oh, is that LeBron? Like, so that's. I think like every time, like if you ask NASCAR, every time we're on the road and I hit the gas station, they had to like take a double look. Like, oh my god, we call it the airport effect. You know, when you get the airport effect, that means like you're a superstar. Like oh, who's that? You know. So I always get compared to LeBron, the mentioning, and then I think that's like the biggest takeaway. But like I said, it took a while to get used to that as well, especially like start playing basketball. I guess you want to call it like an identity crisis. So I had to like get used to having conversations with people. But actually, now I reversed it now, so it's like a great icebreaker now, and I'm able to like have those conversations with people. Cause I know people, they mean well, so.
Yeah, that's probably not only are you 7 feet tall, but you wear all these flashy suits and nice suits, and
I love
people
them.
are gonna be like, "Whoa, who's that guy?" So yeah, it'll be a big conversation starter there for sure.
So the thing with Suits, I don't know if like you're a big fan. I don't know if y'all like watched this show called How I Met Your Mother. So I was like a big How I Met Your Mother fan. Like one of the characters is played by Neil Patrick Harris. His name is Barney Simpson. Like even in his origin story, like he transitioned and like all he wears nothing but suits. It's like Suits is like a big deal. It's like it's the uniform of success. So every time you see me, or every time I see fans, I want them to see me either in my gear or I got a suit on. It's just I want to appear that way. I always saw the Ric Flairs, and that's why like I see Cody Rhodes today. Like I'm like a big fan of Cody Rhodes, of how he transitioned and upgraded and evolved his career. And now look at him.
Yeah, Cody's got awesome suits, like the different colors, and it's not just the actual colors that you see all the time. He's got like the red, bright red suits and stuff like that, and it's pretty awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, I always see you in a suit too, and then I'm glad you said stuff about like where your gear used to come from, like the plaid trunks, because I always thought they kind of look like golferish, but that would have fit too.
Yep.
The plaid ones.
Yep.
So before I turn it over to Rob, you have a show this Saturday at the Texas All-Star Wrestling versus Matthias.
Yep.
And do you have anything else you want to plug while you're here?
Like I said, shout out to DFW All-Pro. We're putting on, or we're building a lot of great talent. We have another class that just graduated, or they're about to graduate really soon. They're about to get out there. Just keep going, like keep supporting. I appreciate y'all for reaching out. You can always find me. Like I said, I'm always at all reality wrestling shows moving forward. You can just follow me on my Instagram. Everything that I do is always plugged there. On my stories on my Facebook, at Beau Amir X. I'm just gonna be at Beau X Amir.com.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. I enjoyed seeing you perform live, and I'm pretty sure I'll catch you again at Reality of Wrestling or New Texas Pro down the line. And I'm looking forward to see where your career goes. Pretty excited to watch.
Thank you.
All right, Rob.
All right, sweet. Thank you, Kathy. So what's going on, man? How's Texas treating you, man? Is it hot yet? Cause it ain't first day of spring.
Man, Texas is it's bipolar. Like
Oh
right now,
yeah.
like up and down. So right now it's cold. Right now it's like 30-something degrees here. So
Woo.
crazy.
Oh man, yeah. It's 45 here in Delaware, man. I think, man. Oh man, we're warmer than Texas, man. That's all right. I feel something over there. See, I'm always trying to go to Texas. 'Cause I heard, the heat over here on the East Coast, man. I hate it because it's all humid. You walk outside, it's like, a bunch of water punching you in the face. But then people are like, well, in Texas, it's not that humid. It's got that dry heat and all. I'm like, no, I got to check it out, man. Is there really a difference, man?
Man, it depends on where you're at. Like I said, like in Dallas, it's a little bit different from Houston, a little bit different from San Antonio, a little bit different to Austin. So it depends. Like you said, if you're by the water, it's a little bit better. But there's times, sometimes it's just that dry heat kicking in your face, heat type of heat.
Mm. Yeah, because my sister has a friend lives in Arizona, and she's like, yeah, dry heat, you turn on fan or whatever. I'm like, man, 110. I don't care if it's dry or you like, yo, man, no, I
You don't
can't
feel
do
that.
that. Yeah, you're gonna feel, yeah, you're gonna go out there and just be like, oh no, I'm staying in today. You know what I mean? This AC working overtime. Shoot.
Yes, sir.
Now, I did want to ask a couple questions because Kathy asked that. I wanted to know, because you're 7 feet tall, man. I have to ask, growing up, were your mom and dad mad at you, with your growth spurts and stuff? Because I know when I was a kid, man, my mom and dad, they would buy me shoes, and then my feet, I got big clown feet, so like my feet would grow out like like a month or two, and they have to buy me new shoes again, and all. They're like, gee, we used to. Were your mom and dad like, oh, come on, man, like, are you for real? Another one, another growth spurt, you keep going. Oh man.
I don't know if it was to the clothes, but I could definitely say probably to the food. Because I have a
Mm.
brother, he's like 6'4", 6'4", so we eat a lot of food coming up. So I could probably see that we into a lot coming up.
Oh yeah. I had my parents had 3 kids. I'm actually like the smallest or whatever, man. My brother, he's a big dude, but he's like shorter. And yeah, they used to have to keep the house stocked with food and stuff. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Absolutely.
during summer vacation or something, man. Oh man, yeah. Oh man. So playing basketball, man. I used to play when I was younger. Just like just with friends and stuff, man. you know, going out there in the court, man, what's it like, just grabbing the ball, just dominating and dunking on somebody, or somebody coming up with a shot, and you're just like, fly, get that junk out of here. Because, I'm a mere mortal. I'm like about 6 feet, 5'10", less 6, that I'm mortal, I just, I'm on the perimeter and stuff, man, Man, what was it like, man? Is it like, you're just like, just dunking on somebody, just smashing the block, like.
I mean, like I said, a lot of that performance transitions to the ring. I think it's probably what I missed the most with performing. So being in front of a crowd, controlling, being a maestro. So a lot of that transition from basketball. So it's the same thing.
Okay. Now you were talking about, when you went to training, they were like, man, you got, like a year or whatever, man, you got to train with us before you can do whatever.
Mm.
Now, see, I'm a ref and all, and I go to training and all, workhorse and all, and they told me the same thing with ref, and they're like, look, when you start here, we want you, staying here with us, refing with us, so we can, keep, all that good stuff. And then after that, go do what you want or whatever, man. So, that's always, I always think that's, pretty good. You just, you train first, you know what I mean? Because you got somebody out there, like, man, how long have you trained? 5 years, how many matches you got? 10? It's like, okay, you know what I mean? Yeah, so, you always got to do that little training before you go on out, man. Get your matches in, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a process, and like the thing is, I love this business. I respect it so much that I would do anything to go through that process and be respected. Also, I don't want anything given to me. I want everything earned, and I like the process of. I'm a big believer of slow, steady, build the foundation. They can never build. They can never take it from you. If you get it fast, you're gonna lose it fast. The quicker you get it, the quicker you lose it. But if it's slow, steady, you take your time. It is. I'm the type of person. Wherever my I want to be discovered late in a way of like, oh, you really that nice? Oh, you really that dope? And they go back and it's like a catalog of like dope matches. I always compare it to Jay-Z. I always compare it to Kobe Bryant, their careers. Like when LeBron came on, he was already starter,
Mm-hmm.
already had a shoe deal, everything. Kobe is like, he's on the bench. He had to
Yeah.
earn
Yeah.
all his minutes to become a starter, and it took a while. And I appreciate that because that's real life. You gonna have to take your time with things. Same thing, Jay-Z. Jay-Z comes on a little bit later. Reasonable Doubt drops, but got Nas was quick, Illmatic, and then but it's like Jay-Z took those steps, and it's like, oh, Illmatic. I mean, excuse me, Reasonable Doubt was really a classic. It's really dope. It's the same thing with my craft. I want to be slow and steady, and then you see all this work that I've put in.
Yeah, because it's like wrestling and stuff, man. I feel you can never stop training or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like when you see here some schools, like we graduated or whatever. It's all like, you can always learn something. You know what I mean? Like because my trainer, man, I'm always I always like learning something from him, man. He's forgotten more wrestling than I will ever know in my entire life. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, I'm always for that, man. Just keep on training, doing your work, even if you're just like a ref or a ring announcer. Just go in there, just hang with them or whatever. You ain't gotta take bumps or whatever. Just go in there, train. Do your thing. Learn the craft, man.
Yeah,
I'm all
training.
for that.
And also, like, especially back then with like the territory days, it's part why I miss. It's like everyone had different styles from different areas, different territories. And it's like, oh, you can pick this from this person, you pick something from that person. So there's always something you can learn. Like this stuff that I see, and it's like, oh wow, like I didn't know you can do that, or the body moves that way. I ain't never been that way. So absolutely.
That's right. Now you were talking about, with your gear when you first came out, you were inspired by Candyman and stuff. I gotta ask you, have you ever said Candyman 5 times in the mirror?
I did.
Oh man, okay. Woo.
And he got.
Oh man, see, I've never done that. I ain't never done that. I ain't said Bloody Mary. I never said Beetlejuice. You know what I mean? Yeah, just in case. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that one. On a some show. Like, oh man, he said some words and now he's gone. Like, mm-mm.
Yeah, and then the thing is, like, I'm not really like a big horror fan. It's just I thought that was cool at the time while I came with the character.
Man, cool. Rob, ain't no black people gonna say no Candyman 5 times in no movie, man.
And that's the point. That I can't.
We the first to go in the movie. Rob, come on, man. You're still invited to the club, but come on.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I see that. I'm just like, man, no, I can't do that. I mean, I have part Native American in me and that stuff. What I mean, comes in there, it's like, oh man, you can't mess with the spirits, man. That voodoo and stuff. It's like I'm afraid to go visit Kathy. What I mean, like, yeah, I don't want to get caught up, voodoo and somebody, make a doll out of me sitting with them pins in. Ain't trying to do all that. Now I gotta ask, training, with Booker T and stuff, man. Have you ever met Stevie Ray? And do you think Stevie Ray can do a spinner Rooney?
So here's the thing with Book. So I haven't trained with them just yet.
Okay.
What's something I plan to do. I didn't have a conversation with Book yet. It's like meeting and passing. It's like when I met him, it was like in his office. He saw me like, oh wow, well, we gotta find a way to get you on the roster. And it's like I want to like build that relationship with Ro Reality. So I do plan on going down there a little bit more often outside of the shows and build up that time with them. But no, I haven't had a chance to see Stevie. But like I said, I would like to have that conversation and as well as build that bridge with reality wrestling eventually soon, stronger.
Oh yeah, man, it would be awesome to learn from those guys, man. I'm like, yeah, I used to watch WCW all the time. It'd come on Saturday and Sunday at TBS. It was like 6:05, Saturday night and then Sunday night, somewhere around there, because TBS they were always off by like 5-10 minutes, So it was always like 6:05 coming on. So like, there we go, yeah, Harlem Heat, yeah, there's my guys. I like them. They're always great. Now you were talking about, back in the day, watching pay-per-views and stuff and all that, man. Do you remember what was like? Do you remember your first pay-per-view? You got to watch on, actually sit there, didn't have to wait, for a tape to come out or a friend, go over to a friend or something. Yeah, this is the first one I get to watch and chill at home or whatever, man. Do you remember it?
The first pay-per-view I saw was, remember The Rock? He's going against Ken Shamrock.
Oh, okay.
And like, it was to the point like The Rock was getting hit. He was getting whooped so bad that they brought out the stretcher, and then he kicked the ankle lock on The Rock, and that's the one that I have that vision that vividly of like the first time I saw like a pay-per-view. I don't know which pay-per-view.
That's pretty cool.
I know it was like The Rock versus Ken Shamrock.
Yeah, that was a pretty good feud, man. The one thing I remember from The Rock versus Ken Shamrock was on Monday Night Raw. They were doing something. The Rock got the chair, and Ken Shamrock's like, give me that. And The Rock's like, all right, whack right in his face. I'm like, oh man, no.
For those understand, I've been hit with multiple chairs. Don't really, like, there's no way around it. Those really hurt. So.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know, man. Yeah, I know that. Yeah, there ain't no way you can, yeah, that thing is cracking. Oh yeah, I was like, oh man, I got a headache. I got to take some aspirin just watching that. Like,
oh yeah, I don't know how you can take it.
Yeah, I remember back in the day. See where I'm at I live in the country and all. We didn't get cable out my way till like 91, 92. So before then, I was strictly, UHF, VHF. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that, man. Like it was like a rabbit ears stuff. Yeah, so my friend though, if you need that, he had a satellite dish out in his yard. One of the giant NASA dishes, and I remember we went over there for WrestleMania 9 or whatever, and we sat there on this thing. If you hit the little button on his box, you get a 30-second preview of like, the movie or whatever you're watching. It would play. So we sat there taking turns, standing up there, hitting that button 30 seconds at a time for the 3 or 4 hours for that WrestleMania. Just right up there like that. That was like our first one we watched, but 10 was the first one I got to, chill home and watch and all. But 9, I don't always remember that, man. I'm still friends with those guys today, man. We're in our 40s, and we always talk about that. Like, yeah, it's like, can you believe that we actually sat up there for 3 hours?
Yeah, like I said, like my experience with pay-per-views was that channel. It was Sunday Night Heat would come on, the hype show, and then it'll black out, and then it's nothing but static. And it's like you could hear Jim Ross's voice, and it's like, I wish I want to know what's going on. I can't see it, but I can hear it. That's all you get.
I remember they used to have this thing called the TV Guide channel, and it was a free for all or whatever. They would show like a match on there. It'd be like, I remember before Austin was, Austin 316, that feud like Mark Marrow was like, yeah, on our free for all tonight before the pay per view, Austin versus Mark Marrow and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, TV Guide channel, cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you're talking about, your next show and all that stuff, man. But what can we expect from you this year, man? Any more domination, man? Are you gonna, go around the country a little more? Are you gonna collect gold, everywhere? East Coast, West Coast, North, South, Central?
More choke slams. So I have a lot of alias. Some say like the Face of Fear. One of my alias is the Texas Promoter Killer. So as you know, I have choke slam at least 4 promoters. I want more. I want to turn Texas Promoter Killer to the Southern Promoter Killer. So it'll be
right.
4 choke slams.
That's right. I feel sorry for them those promoters, man. Being up there that high in that choke slam. I'm scared of heights, man. I get butterflies in my stomach, man. I ain't doing all that. Man,
long way down.
Yeah, that is a long way down, man. Oh man, I can't imagine that. That's gotta be a scary ride too, man. That's a ride I don't want to be on, man. If I want to be on a ride, I'm getting on the escalator. I'm good to go. So, is Louisiana the farthest you traveled so far for wrestling? Have you gone farther than that yet?
Louisiana, we did Arkansas, did Mississippi.
Ooh, okay.
I think the furthest was probably Mississippi, which is like a 9-hour drive, I believe.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, man. Them travels. There's a nice travel days, man. They're pretty good, man. So traveling 9 hours and stuff. Do you have any funny travel stories that happened? Like, you're down there in the South with Chupacabra, and might be a couple Bigfoot around there somewhere. So, you ever run into any of those or anything?
I think probably the only thing was like we saw like some raccoons right by the car or something like that. They just come there looking for food. It's probably like the biggest thing, raccoons. They're really crazy, but like I said, like when you're riding with a group of friends or anything like that, things pass by. We keep each other's companies. So
that's pretty cool. That's cool. Now I don't want to keep you too long or whatever. I know you're a busy guy, man. You got stuff to do, man. So I gotta ask you before I pass it on back to Remy. Are there any new movies and TV shows you're watching right now, man? Because I'm always trying to catch something new, man. I always get caught in those comfort shows, so I'm always trying to look for something new.
Entertainment. I saw Creed. I think that's the last movie I saw. Creed.
Oh, okay.
I'm lied. The last movie I saw was Scream 6.
Ooh, okay. Was that any good, man? Because I didn't really like the last one. I think it was 5. 4 I really liked, man. 5 I was like,
Actually, surprisingly, it is really good. I think it's well written. I think I like the elements. Without any spoilers, I think the element I like is like they didn't make the people like dumb. Like it's like okay. Obviously there's a killer, so let's like try to break this down. Like who could be the killer? It's like they put everything together. Of like it's not like you get caught. Do you remember like the old like Jason movies when people get caught up in situations and they just look stupid? It's not one of those. It's like they put some thought into it, and I appreciate that as a viewer. That's all Creed. If you want to talk about shows, like I finished Last of Us. I haven't finished it. I'm watching probably like The Mandalorian.
Okay, yeah. Mando.
I think like a lot of people in the industry, they're real big into anime. I'm like off and on with it. As well as like I said, I try to like keep up. Like here's the thing, like I try to like have bits and pieces of everything, so I can have a conversation with people. Like, it's like one of my strengths. Like I try to like have conversations, like pieces. Like, oh, you know what this is? I know a little bit of it, and we can like touch on it a little bit. But then, you know, I try to like dabble in each thing. But that's probably like the last thing I saw was Scream 6.
Okay. Yeah, man, The Last of Us, man, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it because I played the game and all, and that game was an emotional game and all, and I know what's gonna happen and all, and I'm like, I don't know if I can watch it, man. It's like, man, I don't know if I might have to be in the right mindset to watch it,
So
man.
what I heard is I don't think it's like just like the game, you know, like kind of like the movies, the Marvel movies. It's not
Mhm.
just like comic, but I think they changed and have adapted to it. So
Yeah. Yeah, I heard they did a lot of that. It's not like beat for beat. They changed a little bit, but yeah, I think a lot like the ending and stuff, man. I think it's pretty much to get like with the game and all. And I'm like, man, that it was rough, man. It was like, whew, man, it was crazy. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm trying. I'm always. Yeah, I haven't seen Creed yet, man. I like the Creed movies and stuff, man. I'm ready for Creed. Yeah, I want to see Creed 3. Hopefully, it'll be pretty good. Man, I'm waiting for John Wick, man. When John Wick
yeah,
comes out, I think this Friday, right, or next week. This week or next week, man. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go see that. I'm gonna go up
yeah,
here.
next one, probably John Wick. I'm on the fence with Shazam. I might
Oh,
see it
okay.
today. I don't know, but for sure John Wick's the next one.
Oh yeah, John Wick. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to Lance Reddick, man. Passed away, man, a couple days ago, man. Yeah, he was a great dude, man. He's a great guy, great actor. I liked him in a lot of stuff like Oz and all that, man.
Yeah,
He did his
in
thing.
the Wire, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Wire, yeah, Wire. Yeah. I had a friend of mine watch the Oz. That was the jail one. Yeah. The Wire's the cop one. Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I remember that. So, man, before I pass it on back to Remy, man, I do want to say, thank you very much, for taking time out of your busy schedule, coming on chat with us, man. I had a blast, man. I wish you nothing but the positive things in your life, man. I hope you get to travel around, choke slamming promoters, just tearing people up, collecting gold wherever you go, and just, one day we see you on the TV and be like, yo, we interviewed that dude, man. That dude's awesome, man. Hopefully one day, man, we get to see that, man.
I appreciate that, brother. You're the same. I hope you're constantly your platform, and you're constantly growing, or wherever you're trying, you're chasing, man. I hope you're constantly growing for it. Hope you strive for it.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, man. Thank you.
That has actually happened. We've actually had people that have actually been on our platform that have actually we've interviewed on our platform that have actually gone on to greatness. Roxanne Perez, AQA. Um, who else have we had?
Thunder Rosa, Kylan King,
Brian
bunch of
Cervantes,
people.
actually a big, who's actually a big promoter down there. So hey,
Got Catalina
um,
Lager, we're here.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've had a lot of people that not a lot, but like several that have actually gone on to do great things. And now, yeah, Kylan King just got signed by Impact Wrestling. So yeah, it's always a great thing to see people that we had on the show like before they were stars go on to actually become somebody and become famous and so on. And it's not even a clout thing. It's just yes, they did it. Congratulations. And we feel happy, and that's why we do this, because we don't just the thing about us is we don't just look at if they're going to be popular. It's the fact that they go into the ring and they put on a show for us. So tell your manager. I'm sure your manager Nasico is watching, but he's on our radar, so he might not want to go too far, because we're coming for you too, brother. Trust me. We're gonna want to hear from you too as well. One of the best in Texas. But yeah, Bo. I just gotta say, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you very much for doing this for us. We really and truly appreciate it. It's an honor to have like possibly the biggest superstar in reality wrestling to actually be on our show. So with that being said, before we shut this down, where can fans find you on social media when they want to find out your next appearances, purchase Beau Amir merchandise, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
Same thing. Like I said, it's Beau Amir. Instagram, Twitter is at Beau X Amir. So it's the same across the board. Like I said, you can find me. That's where you
Oh,
find me.
I apologize. My service here was going in and out, so I was kind of freezing, so I was just trying to like fix myself over here. But y'all definitely heard the man. You heard his social media links. Definitely give him a follow. He's doing great things in Texas, and cop that Beau Amir merchandise because
Yes.
like I said,
Who's better than Bo?
there you go. And when he gets signed by WB or AEW or one of the big companies, and somebody's like, "Yo, I just got the new Beau Amir merchandise from whatever shop they have it at," you can be like, "Yeah, well, I got his stuff from before he got signed. So who's the real fan?" So
That's
it's
true.
always great to support people, from the beginning of their journey. I mean, if you just found out about them when they got signed, fine. I mean, you can't know everybody. I mean, I watch a lot of wrestling. I don't know everybody, but if you're able to support somebody from the beginning of their journey up until they're at their best, that's a great feeling. So with that being said, Bo, we wish you nothing but the best, and we hope you get to wrestle everybody you want to wrestle, and if you know you, well, how do I word this? I don't want to. If not the big leagues, we hope you get to go worldwide because, like I said, it's a big world out there wrestling wise, and we hope you get to go to like Japan. And I can tell you right now, if you get to go to Japan, I don't know if you've been there before, but if you haven't, I highly recommend it. It's a great country, and make sure you get your Ribeiro jacket from Ribeiro Steakhouse in Tokyo. It's I call it an unofficial thing because nobody said it's official, but it's an unofficial right where wrestlers go and get their jacket from that steakhouse whenever they do a Japanese tour. So,
Trust
I
me, bro. On the bucket list. Trust me.
I definitely hope you get that opportunity to experience that culture and everything. But with that being said, it's about time for us to shut this show down. My eyelids are getting heavy. My stomach is rumbling. That means it's time for dinner and a nap. Maybe not in that order, but before I partake in those activities, Kathy Knight, the Money Penny to my James Bond and the Tennille to my Captain. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, all things Becky Lynch, Paige, and good eating in Louisiana?
So you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, and Discord, all at BLUE70517.
Man, thank you for that recommendation on Cafe Du Monde. I'm still feeling those beignets from 2 months ago, man. I'm gonna have to go back for a trip. But with that being said, Rob Bass, the Eminem to my Royce the 5'9", and the Charlie Haas to my Shelton Benjamin. Where can fans find you on social media when they want to talk wrestling, find out where your next appearance is, and where can bookers and promoters find you when they want to book you for their shows?
All right, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, Rob_base82, and then Facebook, Rob Base. This Saturday, we got student showcase. It's at the Ranch Hand Carlson compound. You know what I mean? Invite only. So if you try and go to that show, invite me or email me or whatever. I got like a couple tickets or whatever. And then April 15th, 1CW, we're back, and CCW, we're back in House in Delaware. We got some, bunch of matches going on. Not all the matches, are set right yet. So, I'll let you know as they come on. And then April 22nd, 1CW, we're going to be in Harrington at the fairgrounds. We're going to do 3 shows that day, 3 1-hour shows. So, yeah, go there, and hang out, have some fair food, whatever, and watch wrestling 3 times, man. We're going to be out there, doing the thing.
Watch wrestling 3 times, man. Y'all really spoil them in Delaware, man. Shoot, somebody got to
Yeah,
move
hey,
down.
man, we're growing, man. We're trying.
Yeah, shout out to 1CW on that expansion, by the way. I wish y'all nothing but the best, and I look forward to y'all's growth and whatnot. But if you want to find me on social media, not that I say a lot of cool stuff, but I do go to a lot of cool places recently. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Remy Blue. I got another trip coming up. You could, if you want, you can check out my highlights from when I went to Seattle, when I went to New Orleans. You'll definitely like it. So that's at the Remy Blue. You will not be bored with my travels. But also, I'm also on Facebook under the alias Remy Blue as well, and our podcast, of course, is also on social media. We're on Twitch at Ringside Society 2019, Instagram and Twitter at Ringside Society. We're on Facebook as a Facebook group as well, and we also have Spotify, and we're also on Teespring as well too, where we sell official Ringside Society merchandise. We have t-shirts, we have tank tops, we have long sleeve shirts, and we also have hoodies and coffee mugs for your favorite warm beverage. So make sure you check us out. Yes, we know St. Patrick's Day just passed, but we still have the St. Patrick's Day merch available. And we also have Mardi Gras merch, St. Valentine's Day merch, and we have a new logo coming out, a new logo design. Same logo, but kind of different colors. And I'm gonna tell you right now, it's actually our first ever pro wrestler inspired logo. So stay tuned for it. It's coming soon. And last but not least, we have a YouTube channel where we have cool interviews like this one, like the one we had with Rudy Garza and Dex Harm, and several other great people in Texas, several other great people all over the world that are in the wrestling industry. So all you gotta do is go on YouTube, type in Ringside Society, and once you see that really gorgeous dark blue and light blue yin yang sound with the blue flames around it, brought to us by Moreno Artwork, that's when you know you're on our channel. So make sure you subscribe to all our videos because we got a lot of cool stuff coming up and you don't want to miss a thing like Aerosmith in 1998. But with that being said, we just want to thank everybody tuning in live tonight. We really and truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. We strive on being one of the best wrestling podcasts a wrestling fan could and should listen to, and we're not going to stop doing that. To those of y'all that are listening later on, we get a chance. Thank you very much in advance. And those y'all that hate us, can't stand us, really and truly wish we go away. Well, like myself at the Golden Corral, Rob Bass at the Taco Festival, and Kathy Knight at Cafe Du Monde for the buy one get one free specials. We're not going anywhere for a while.
They hate us because they ain't us.
And we ain't stopping. With that being said, we just want everybody to know that we're very well and aware that everybody and their grandparents and their parents have a podcast. But we're not your grandparents' podcast. We're not your parents' podcast. As a matter of fact, we're not just any podcast. Hashtag we are not the same. With that being said, hey yo, Rob Bass, Kathy Knight, one time for the mind, one time for the people, one time for the wrestling culture, and one time for the 7 foot tall, yet still can't teach that, who's gonna make it big in the world of pro wrestling. And he has one question: who better than Beau?
Who better than Beau?
Who better than Beau?
Sir.
Beau Amir.
Woo! Go cowbell.
What type of podcast are we?
All right. 3, 2, 1. We're the
We're
Wrestling Fans Podcast.
That's right, we're the Wrestling Fans Podcast, Ringside Society, and we'll be back tomorrow with another impressive guest on another episode. As a matter of fact, man, I'm feeling so good tonight. Great interview. We got Raw showing right now. Hey, yo, Rob Bass. Should I tell him? Should I tell him? Can I kick it?
Yes, you can.
Tomorrow we have New York-based talent from Battle Club Pro, who actually recently wrestled at Capital Championship Wrestling. Sammy Chaos will be in the building tomorrow. But until then, we just want y'all to do 4 favors for us. Stay safe, stay healthy, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes. We out. Peace.
See y'all. Good night. Stay classy, Delaware.
Let the good times roll, Louisiana. Bye.